Hi Aquarius, how are you this month? This is Heather with Twin Flame Blue Ray Tarot, here with your monthly reading for May of 2020. Hopefully you can hear me. I forgot to put my microphone on for the first 8 readings. So there is advantages of being the last few signs to get readings. I finally get stuff figured out. And the quality is hopefully better for you. So if you want to watch my intro for the month with a recap of what I've experienced and what the collective has experienced that I've seen and heard, that's in the Aries video. I am not doing a long recap for every sign because it is now the first and I want to get these out as quickly as possible. So basically just talk about, well, there's more to it than that, but to recap what I've been putting in each video has been that the masculine is now having their mass awakening if you're twin flame. And God, this card is coming out for like every reading from this deck. And oh, and another one. And actually in the other decks it's been coming out too. So the feminine, it's been a very physical month for me and probably a lot of other feminines. I've been back in a kind of a 3D, more of a 3D job, part-time, and since I just moved to a new place, things have really shifted and changed. Don't think I want this card. And that's kind of been going on with the collective of feminines because we're now holding it in more of a 3D. I keep doing air quotes for 3D because it's really, sorry, I'm going to move my camera forward a little. It's really more of a much more high vibe energy, even in 3D now. If we've made the shift with the planet and leveled up, and so we're able to experience a lot of the things that the masculine has for the last several years. I say that this wave that I'm a part of has been on the journey for at least 5 or 6 years, could be more. Sometimes it's a little less, but that's the general time frame. And of course, the ones coming up behind us are still experiencing a major, major shift anyway, but because it's just time with the planet and what it's doing. But the masculines are now being pushed to hold 5D and have their big spiritual awakening. And so it's very different energy. A lot of us are not caring what they're doing at all anymore. We have new soulmates and karmics and wonderful, wonderful people coming into our lives for the first time in a long time. We're getting the green light to at least explore those connections, and it's a very, very different energy. So it's very exciting, and I will be curious to see and excited to see what happens with the masculines as the year progresses. And then we are also just past the first solar eclipse of the year that happened the morning of the 30th. And we are also in the eclipse corridor. Here's an eclipse right here, already being represented in the cards. The second eclipse, lunar eclipse, is May 16th. And just before then, we have Mercury going into retrograde. So it's a doozy of a month. I've been talking about that in the other signs, so feel free to cross-watch for your sun, moon, rising, or your person. And without further ado, let's get into the Aquarius reading for May. So this card, Four of Cups, has come up for several other readings as well as Judgment. So there are, of course, some themes, but the energy for each sign and the messages for each sign has been very different, even with the Twin Flame Collective. And of course, other people are welcome to watch this. As I've seen in some of the comments already, some people are in the vibe of this and some people are not. So I think that I guess it's just forcing me to be more clear that I am a twin flame, and so the energies that I read for are more for the collective of twin flames. But of course, everyone is welcome to watch this, and if you get a message, I have asked Spirit to bring a message to everyone who is watching. So I'm definitely open to whoever wants to, and all are welcome to be on the channel and watch the channel. But I've been picking up very strongly this year the twin flame energies, and yeah, so let's get on with excuse me, my voice and my allergies are going nuts, especially after doing so many readings so far and working in a public job again. So I'm going to try and keep my voice steady, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, so Four of Cups and Judgment. So someone wanting to come back around. I got this for another sign. There's a block to the Divine Masculine coming back. This one is in the upright, though, for you. So there could be some communication. Of course, Aquarius is an air sign, big on communication and information coming in. So, but yeah, I just, as far as actually coming back, this is a nostalgia card. I'm getting this is more of, well, it's both of you. It's the masculine getting nostalgic because all of a sudden they're able to see the divine masculine for the first time, really fully. They've had glimpses of it, they've had moments of it, but then they are veiled from seeing the true connection. This has been happening for years, and now all of a sudden they're having this big epiphany, this big awakening. Their switch has been flipped, and they're able to see everything. So, they're put. I just saw the seven of Fox. I almost called it Seven of Swords in reverse. I love my Fox totem energy, but this is known as the Sneaky Fox card in any deck. And it's in reverse. So it's like they're putting away, as I was looking down here, they're putting away their old habits. They're putting away, they're having to put away the way that they used to be. And Sneaky Fox energy. So if they were trying to pull a fast one on the feminine or any of the people around them, that it's like every karmic thing is hitting them full on right now. They're feeling everything else that everybody else around them feels, so they can't get away with this anymore. So they're feeling nostalgic for that feeling of home in this connection in particular. Mother of Pentacles, Taurus energy, for them, the feeling of home, the feeling of being nurtured, like is being shown with these two deer in this picture. They're wanting that comfort because they're being kind of thrown out into this cold. This, even though this is the Eight of Wands, it's a very stark, cold picture, cold energy looking in this picture. And so they're not finding comfort anywhere because they're not supposed to. They're supposed to have this big epiphany, awakening, judgment card. I think can also be, it definitely looks like it in this deck, but awakenings and new understandings of old, just old things in life, and seeing things from a totally different vantage point and different perspective. So whether it's relationships or really when you have an awakening, everything in your life looks different is what I'm trying to say, and that's what they are experiencing now. Eights are movement forward. This is a lightning strike though, and they are just being hit so hard and pushed through this portal energy. Um, they're not being able to look back. They're being pushed through, pushed forward. And so that's why I think I'm getting communication for your sign in particular coming from this person, because they're not being allowed to feel comfort. They're not being allowed to feel anything safe. They're being shown very starkly what this connection is, and the feeling of home of it is coming back to them so strongly that it's almost like they have no choice but to reach out now. Whereas before, when they were in their more ego self, 3D self, they never would have completed a text and sent it or something like that. They never would have really reached out. They may have played with the idea, thought about it, thought about playing with the energy with you. They can't do that anymore. So let's move on to kind of the second half of the month. We get the Nine of Cups. Again, this has come out for some other signs. This is the emotional wish fulfillment card. The Mother of Wands. This is the Leo energy as I read it, and it is coming into your own power very fully. Two twos here, which is very telling. I always look at duplicates in readings. The Two of Swords, which is the indecision card, but with this eclipse energy, very similar to this card over here. They're being forced, once they're past this threshold of the eclipses, they're being forced into seeing things very clearly and pushed into not even a decision, but a part of their lives that they would not have chosen before, but they have, again, it's like they have no choice but to go forward with that. And so, as you can see under here, the Two of Cups is with this, and it's like they're being forced into seeing the reality of what the connection was. Whether you want them back at the moment or not is up to you, because they may be looking at you as their emotional wish fulfillment all of a sudden, but that doesn't mean that you are ready. And they had years of pushing the feminine away and going out in 3D and doing their own thing. Well, the tables have completely turned, and it's their turn to go through this awakening process, and that really, a lot of it has to be done alone. So, you know, Aquarians are super independent. I think a lot of us feminine are feeling quite independent at the moment. So there is the connection, there is the love energy, but you might be saying, hey, I'm with this amazing person over here and I'm feeling quite fulfilled and happy. So thanks for reaching out. You go do you. It's like I'm patting someone's head. You go do you. And yeah, have fun with that. Good luck with the awakening process. Welcome to it. Welcome to the other side. But I'm going to be over here doing my own thing. So for as long as that lasts, yeah, I think the feminine are really being given a chance at some kind of freedom. We'll see how long it lasts, because, you know, being on this journey, the tables can be turned on us at any point, but it really does feel different. And I've been seeing another person who does readings and taking the pulse of the Twin Flame Collective online, and then with my own clients and people that I know. This is going on for a lot of the feminine. It's really a different energy right now. Things have completely shifted and tables really have turned this year. So, not at all, of course, what we expected, but since 2020, nothing has been what any of us have expected. And we are just kind of, as spiritual beings on this planet holding space, we're just kind of going with the flow of where we're needed. And that's why I always say twin flame energies and readings shift so much, because we're here to be of service to the planet and to where we need to go and what they need us to do at the moment. So clearly right now the moment for us is to flip-flop with where the masculine has been and be our independent selves. Of course, there is a new wave of twins coming up behind the one that I've been on, and that could still be a little different for all of you. So let me know if you'd like to in the comments where you're at and how you're feeling. And for those of you that this is ringing true for, let me know. For those of you who are in a different wave, if you're feeling something different, of course, let me know that too. But yeah, this is just a very different. We've definitely crossed through a threshold this year, because all of a sudden it is a sense of freedom that we as the feminine haven't had in a very long time. So and looking at this, I'm reminded to say, in most of the readings I've been mentioning, the heart chakra of the planet has been awakened. And so now that we're kind of holding it in 3D again, we get to be on that train of like, oh, okay, everyone's who has kind of risen above the darker, heavier energies, denser energies. We kind of get to play in that love, unconditional love, true love energy, and see what that brings us. So, yeah, and be an example for the people around us, or get involved with a new person, a new soulmate, and that's, like I said, that's been really fun. So, whatever it ends up leading to, again, spirit can yank us out of those connections at any moment. We're very used to that as twin flames, but it's probably the most fun interactions with other people, even kind of new friendships and acquaintances that I've had in a very long time. So, and well, Aquarius is the sign of friendships and connections and community and building connections that way. So, and aren't we going into the age of Aquarius as one of the Aquarians? Adjust that screen a little bit. At work, I asked if he was a Taurus, because he is very particular with his job, and it's his way or the highway. And so he was like, no, I'll give you a hint. It's the age of, and I was like, oh, you're another fixed sign. But you are the expansive, kind of all-encompassing, inclusive, of friends and friendships and community sign. So, yeah, it makes sense as I'm talking about this, that we're going into quote unquote age of Aquarius. People argue all the time about the date on that, but yeah, it's definitely feeling more like age of Aquarius. Connections being made, and it just feels very bright and light and connected all over the place in really amazing ways. It's definitely, everything has shifted in the last couple of years on the planet, and we're seeing, those of us that are looking at things from the good and positive angles are really, especially the healers, the light workers, benefiting from all of this now, and the abundance is coming in. As I was just going to talk about that, I'm looking at the 10 of Pentacles over here. So it's in reverse, and I'm asking Spirit why. It's the masculines, they're going from this more solid looking foundation to upheaval and major shifts. And this is very dizzying, this particular card in this deck. It's another portal. It's another, like, they're being spun around, and all their pentacles are going flying everywhere, and they're not able to have that solid base that they used to. So yeah, this is very different energy than they've seen. Whereas I've heard another feminine in her readings and talks say that, they might have been looking at their feminines going, oh, she's crazy, or she just has really bad luck, and we were knocked down to nothing in our foundations time and time again, a lot of us, and not able to be stable, which a lot of us are more so now, being given gifts from the universe of abundance, and um, new things coming in, and a little more stability, if you can call it that, on the planet right now. I don't think much of anything is stable. I think we're creating as we go, moment to moment, but we're being given these gifts and these opportunities because we've come through our big awakening. We've done all of this work, and here we are at the reward time. But the masculine's tables are being turned, and that's why I'm hearing that this card is flipped upside down for them, because 10 of Pentacles is happy home, happy family, abundance, stability, all things good. And it is still for us. Let's just flip to our side of the coin. And they'll be fine. It's just, it looks very scary for them right now because 3D has been plucked away. Um, Everything we've seen and known and felt secure in and safe in is being plucked away. And the more we've learned surrender and release through this journey, the more we've learned detachment through this journey, we're able to go with the ebbs and flows and the swirling energies and the changes, and still focus on the happiness, the positivity, the joy, the bliss, the love, the unconditional love, the good things, and still manifest from that place. So they are coming into that. Our souls know it. They're our soul, if it's the twin flame. We all know it. We know how to do it, but we've come in with some amnesia, which is part of the journey, and to help clear other family lineages and things like that, and clear for the collectives on the planet. But they're coming into, like, they're being knocked off their feet and off their solid ground, and they're really coming into the deeper knowing of their soul, to the core of who they are, and that's come up in another reading. And so they are they're being shown who they really are at the core, and all of this facade and all of this stuff is falling away. They're having to look at things from a whole new light. So again, where they were coming from their ego self and their 3D self, they never would have made these jumps and these leaps and these communications with people around them, with their twin, with whatever. But now they're like, oh, this is who I really am. I am this soul. I am this bigger energy than just this little 3D, Joe going to work every day, making the money, building the pentacles, um, doing my thing, making a name for myself. There's a lot more to why I'm here. And so they're being shown that in a big, bright way right now. And it's not always comfortable. So they're just kind of, some of them are in like a stupor of seeing, some of them are in their shock moment. We know what the soul shock is. Those of us that have been through this trip, this journey, it's not comfortable, and so they're having to do that alone. We went through it alone. They were not there to understand, most of them, what this was. They were not there to support because they weren't supposed to be. We're supposed to all fall hard on our butts and fall from the reality that we knew into the true reality of who we are. We're supposed to go into the depths, into the darkness, into the shadow, and heal all of that. So that's what they are in the process of doing right now. And where am I at for time? Okay, I'm going over. So I think I'm going to leave that here for now. And I don't know if I'm going to be on this month. That was the goal, and my life has just been, for lack of a better term, just chaos. It's becoming like more of a routine and stable in a lot of ways, but it's, again, very different than my life was before I moved away from Sedona back in December. So being back in a city and things are busy and I have more to do than I'm having to really refine what I do in a day just so I get the things I really need done. So me babbling about this is just saying I would like to come on and hold space and do readings and all of that. We'll see what happens this month, especially with the eclipses in retrograde. Um, so that is kind of the goal, but we'll see again what happens. So if I see you this month, I see you. And if I see you in the next month's video, I hope you have a beautiful May, Aquarius. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and being on the channel. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if this is resonating, how you're feeling right now. And that would mean a lot to me. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, Aquarius.